have the privilege of introducing Seth Tabor. Seth is an award-winning producer with more than 25 years of experience making recognized and memorable campaigns that have been presented at the Oscars, the Super Bowl, for our global leading brands. He is in the fight every single day against metastatic colorectal cancer and is a steadfast advocate for equal rights, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and cancer research and fundraising. Seth will be presenting on making a movement, literally and figuratively. Welcome, Seth.
Okay. No, not okay. How do we get it there? Yeah. Okay. All right. So executive producer, I'm going to take you through a little bit of what I do and my journey, and it'll make sense when I get to the figurative movement that I'm talking about. So as I said before, I am an executive producer. What does that mean? For those of you that live in Brooklyn, when the road is closed because they're filming something, that's probably my fault. So I'm sorry about that. But realistically, it means that I'm making movies and TV things that you're seeing and you're loving and you're enjoying. More likely, it's TV commercials that I'm doing. And the TV commercials take me to lots of different places, put me in lots of different fun areas. You can see in the upper right, I'm making, some magic happen. In the upper left, we're filming with Troye Sivan, who, if you don't know who that is, ask your kids. They'll tell you who he is. But it often involves filming in fun locations or doing interviews, things like that. I've worked with almost every brand you can imagine, lots of different alcohols, which I grouped together, lots of different soda brands, lots of different tech brands, probably every bank and credit card you can imagine, sneakers. Sorry, I get a lot of dry mouth from the chemo that I took my pills this morning. Right now, my clients are New York Lottery, Smirnoff, and the U.S. soccer team. So some fun brands. I do a lot of cool things. And it puts me in a lot of weird places, like having lunch with Renaissance people. It puts my ads on Times Square. It lets me hang out with the Stanley Cup, which I knew not to touch. If anybody's a hockey fan, I know that's very no, you're not allowed to touch the Stanley Cup. And it put me in the Patron Hacienda, where we had to wear masks long before it was mandated to wear masks. And I've worked with lots of different people, Robert De Niro, a lot of sports people, Barry Sanders and DeAndre Hopkins. I worked on a Beastie Boys music video. Man, I Feel Like a Woman. I was on that set and I worked on that music video. Gabrielle Union, she was fun to work with. Lots of different people. Okay, that's me. This is my journey now. March 7th. So 3 years ago today, I was diagnosed with cancer. It was the biggest kick in the gut you could ever imagine. I was bleeding in the bowl. I thought it was a gluten allergy, or I thought it was, they were going to tell me to drink less beer or something like that. I had no idea what it was going to be. But it was, I went for a GI exam and they put me in a colonoscopy and they said right away, you have cancer. I was diagnosed as stage 3. My wife and I cried. We took some time, we figured it out, but as a producer who puts things together, I immediately got a team together. I saw a surgeon, I saw an oncologist, I did everything I could. And we started 15 weeks of chemo. For those interested, it was oxaliplatin and capecitabine. And I did 25 days of targeted radiation, and it was amazing. The tumor was destroyed. It was like, holy crap, this was great. But the doctors weren't, ready to say I was done. So they said there was still some cells in the lining of the walls of my colon. So we had surgery. We cut out a piece of my colon, and the borders were clean. So amazing. I was NEOD. I was no evidence of disease. And we celebrated. We cried again, but the good cry. And I took my whole family 2 weeks after surgery to Taylor Swift, which was like the best dad in the world. It was not so easy, as I had to go empty my ileostomy bag 3 times in Link Stadium. But all right, we got it done. Then I had surgery to reverse that, to take away the ileostomy bag. And unfortunately, in my first exam, they found new growth. So suddenly I'm stage 4. Okay, I'm stage 4. And until this point, I had kind of been, I guess, keeping it, to myself. It was me and my family. My family knew, some close friends knew, but we weren't like broadcasting. I wasn't, let's say, an advocate at that point. But when I was in EOD, I all of a sudden I was like telling the world, "Oh my God, I'm cancer free," and people were like, "You had cancer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And now I'm like, "Okay, I have cancer again." I went through 26 weeks of chemo again. At this point, it was irinotecan, Avastin 5-FU, which is like the best name ever for a chemical that you're inserting in your body. Sorry. And another 25 days of targeted radiation. And I was told we were looking good. We were moving in the right direction. And then, oops, new growth. Okay, so we're still fighting. I'm on a clinical trial now, a new drug called NST 628, which just got approval last year from the FDA. So it's a phase 1 trial or stage 1 trial. I don't know how you say that. So I guess I'm the guinea pig. We'll find out, what the side effects are and what the dosage levels are. But it targets 2 of my issues. It targets my BRAF mutation and my NRAS mutation. So I like that it targets 2, which I think is very cool. I've been treated at Memorial Sloan Kettering. You can see me ringing the bell there. But I have doctors at NYU. I have doctors at MD Anderson. I've been talking to doctors literally everywhere, and I'm so thankful for my care team. I've also been raising funds and raising awareness, doing what I can. I had an event where we drank and had fun with it. I've had 2 walking run events where a lot of people came, and in all my events, we raised over $50,000, which is really great. My surgeon actually saw that I was raising so much money, and he said, "Hey, you want to channel your money towards these new clinical trials that I'm putting out." And so in my head, I think I raised the money that got this new clinical trial that I'm currently on. So if it works, there's your Disney story, and I will be a movie. And obviously it brought a lot of people together at all these different events, and it's nice that I can influence them and, push them to get colonoscopies. And, friends are talking to me and, telling me, "Oh, I'm getting my colonoscopy today," or they're even sending me photos. And I'm like, "Don't do that. I don't need to see photos," but I'm happy you're doing it. I'm happy you're there. So in my job, it made me kind of think about the projects that I had done in the past. And this is a nice GIF, which is not going to play for you. But I did many years ago a Saturday Night Live ad for Colon Blow, where Phil Hartman has to eat so much, to match, what he needs in his daily routine, that he's sitting on 100 bowls of cereal. That's what he has to eat to clean out his colon. And it made me laugh because I had done that ad. But when I found out that the company that I work for was doing a MasterCard ad with Stand Up to Cancer, I said, "I got to produce that. That's me. That's me." So they let me do it. And as I started doing it, I said, "All right, listen," I went to the head of the company and the head creative, and I said, "I want to do this my way. You got to let me run this." And they said, "Of course. What is it you're looking to do?" And I said, "I want to arm the entire crew. I want everyone to either have cancer, had cancer, or take care of someone with cancer. I want it to be very close to them. I want this ad to resonate with people who have cancer or are going through something, or I want it to have a deeper understanding." And they were like, "Hell yeah, go for it." I presented that to the clients agreed, and away we went. Since this is about disparity, I will also talk about the fact that I pushed to have 3 Black people as the lead characters in the ad, because I know that when we're talking about family discussions and knowledge and sharing family history, the Black community doesn't do that as well as others. I know the Asian American community is the same. I know that my Jewish family, if I have a hangnail, everybody knows about it. It's like we will talk until at the end of the earth. But from what I've learned, it's just not as easy a discussion. And if I can that by having 3 leads talk about cancer in broad daylight, I think that is an amazing thing to do. While we did this ad, we needed a social campaign. And my team came to me and said, well, why wouldn't we just do the social campaign about everybody working on this ad? Whoever is going through something, let's interview them and let's put that out as the social campaign. Okay, sure, I'll be in an ad. Do I get paid for it? No. But we put a lot of people in ads, we put them out on social. A lot of people got recognized, and it made a lot of people understand a little bit deeper well, first off, that people are going through things and you might not know it at all. They're at work. We're all, I hate saying this, but we're all standing up to cancer by doing this ad for Stand Up to Cancer. So, in our everyday life, we were standing up to it. And the ad did really well. MasterCard raises $5 million every year. They've been doing this for 11 years. This was the fastest that they raised the $5 million. It just blew up for them. And so they were really excited. So their tentpole moment, Stand Up to Cancer, is at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. So they decided to play the ads at the All-Star Game, and they decided to send me to the All-Star Game. So I got interviewed in the pregame by Albert Pujols, who's in the Hall of Fame, if you don't know him. Me and my coworker, who also had cancer and is in the ads. And I got to stand on the field with a lot of players like CeCe Sabathia, who just got in the Hall of Fame, and like Derek Jeter. Maybe I need to show you closer. Derek Jeter. Okay, I'm wearing a Yankee hat, people. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, as I'm doing all of this, I'm also talking to a lot of colon cancer charities. I'm trying to figure out how I can use my gift, okay? Because I'm a producer. I get things done. I know marketing. What can I do to help raise awareness? And one of the people that I met, maybe some of you know him, his name is Dr. Whitney Jones in Kentucky from the Colon Cancer Prevention Project, I think. And when I met him, he was the first person to ask me, did your parents have polyps? And I was like, what? And I understand my doctors are looking to help me, not necessarily figure out where I got my cancer, but no one ever asked me that. And that's interesting to me, because if people know that their parents had polyps, kids might want to get colonoscopies sooner. And the awareness has to grow. So, excuse me. So he and I started talking about breaking it down and what are the most important things we need to put in ads? What is the most important things we need to bring out to the world? So the first thing is, obviously, colon cancer is on the rise, massively on the rise. If you were born after 1990, I think the odds are like 200 to 400% more likely, and that's a fact. The second thing is have the family discussion, and this is where I talked about, the disparity and some families don't talk about it. My family, like I said, talks about it. I know what my mom had. I know what my dad had, but I also know that my grandma died of women's disease. I don't know what that is. I assume it's ovarian cancer or something like that, but it could have been colon cancer. I don't know. Women's disease back in the day. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep this Derek Jeter image up for as long as possible. So the third thing was know the signs of colon cancer, because if you know the signs, like blood in the bowl, like if I had known the signs, I would have gone and gotten a colonoscopy sooner. I waited 9 months with blood in the bowl, because again, I thought it was a gluten issue. They were going to say, stop eating bread. I love bread. So once we dispelled it down to those 3 things, I came up with a campaign. Now I'm going to tell you about this campaign because it launches next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 12th, in Colon Cancer Month. So Colon Cancer Awareness Project. I'm calling it Toilet Talk. Okay. And I have a video, which I'm not able to show you because I'm in a PDF. I'm not in my Google Doc, but I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay. Toilet talk. I want people to film themselves sort of like the ALS challenge, right? The ALS challenge, you took a bucket of water and dumped it on your head, and then you named 3 friends, right? And you probably gave a donation to ALS. I don't care so much about the donations. I care about the awareness, right? So I want you to say those 3 things that Whitney and I dispelled down to, right? So you're in your bathroom. Show me something cool about your bathroom. Oh, look, I got this water bottle in my bathroom, right? Whatever. And then you say the 3 things. It's colon cancer month. Colon cancer is on the rise and younger people are getting it every day. Know your family history. Know the signs of colon cancer. If you can say more, even better. You know, you're 200 to 400% more likely to have whatever. If you know the sound of AOL dial-up, get a colonoscopy. You know, like there's so many things you could say. If you ask your mom if she had polyps, you could expand on it any way you want. But if you say those 3 things, then you tag 3 friends, and 3 friends then film, you know, show me your bathroom. And those 3 friends show you their bathroom. We're hoping that this takes off. There's no viral button that I could hit that says take off, but I'm talking to a few celebrities. We're hoping to get a celebrity launch that will go out on the 12th, Wednesday, and then other people will start doing it. You know, like if everyone here makes a video, hi people, if everyone makes a video and launches it on the 12th or the 13th and you tag 3 friends, it'll start, it'll go. It will raise awareness. And that's the key, awareness. Because what we need to do is make people know the signs of colon cancer. We need to make them aware that colon cancer is an issue. I met a guy who was a soccer player, and he at 18 started bleeding in the toilet, and his doctor changed his diet, and his doctor, you know, changed his diet again at 19 and at 20. And at 22, he had a colonoscopy. He was stage 3 colorectal cancer. And he went through, you know, chemo, and he went through surgery, and he is fine, but he never played soccer again. He could not, he was a professional player in Europe. So, I mean, that's terrible. It's terrible. And it's hard for me to even tell his story, but I think the hope is if we can get this to go out, even if people miss the mark, and even if people just say colon cancer is on the rise, that's a win. We have to get the awareness out. And honestly, I want to get the awareness out to doctors as well, because not the doctors in this room, but there are many doctors out there that a 30-year-old goes to the doctor and says, I have blood in the, you know, my stool. And they don't say, get a colonoscopy. They say, all right, change this or change that. We need the awareness to be more. We need doctors to know that the numbers are going up. Someone recommended that we say toilet talk if it goes on TikTok. I like that. But I do request that you guys make videos, put it on any social, put it on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, I don't care, TikTok. I have some backing from celebrities. This is a video from Paul Scheer, the comedian Paul Scheer, who was in The League, and he was on Veep. You would know his face if you saw him. I also have the backing of Simone Bozeman, Chadwick Boseman's wife, who is making me 3 videos. She wants one for each. She thinks she can mess up the algorithm. She has 3 bathrooms in her house. She's going to do one from each bathroom, and she's going to do them in 3 different ball gowns. So that's a win. It's a win. That's all I got.